Hi, thank you so much for visiting Catalyst Development. I am so excited about my company and really excited about you wanting to invest in your personal and professional development. That is really why I started Catalyst Development, is about the people. It's really a place for me to support leaders no matter where they are in their journey. Leadership is not about a title. It is not about a certain organization or size of an organization. Leadership is really about you and your journey. And that is why I love to work with people as they go through their own journeys to leadership. Some people will say, you know what? I'm not a leader. I have my own company, or I run my own business and I have no employees. But you are a leader. You are influencing those around you. You are encouraging people around you to go and grow. And it's really important whether you have no employees or 10,000 employees underneath you, that you focus on your personal and professional development. And so I want to share a little bit with you today about the work that I do with my coaching clients and give you a little peek behind the curtain. When we don't invest in our own personal and professional development, we're really limiting ourselves. We're holding ourselves back in our career for a number of different reasons. I'm a firm believer that nobody goes into a job or into a career choice and says, oh gosh, I really hope that I fail. I really hope I don't do well in this. So what are the reasons why we don't go and grow? Is it because we may be on autopilot? We are got so much going on that we are just come in, do our job, go home. Come in, do our job, go home. Punch the clock. Maybe literally or figuratively punching that clock. There's a lot of reasons why. And so here's where I really work with people and coach them. I think really the first step that holds a lot of people back in personal and professional development is how they handle feedback. Are you self-aware? Do you know the areas that you need to grow in and to get better? We think we know. We may have a project that didn't succeed, or we may have been fired from a job, and there's a lot of excuses that we can tell ourselves. We can always make it so it's not our fault, but that self-awareness is so important. We need to really be able to sit back and reflect on who we are. Whether it's good or bad, there are things that we need to go and grow on. And so we really need to pay attention to that and do some self-reflection. The other important step that I think a lot of people fail to do is surround ourselves with people that can be honest with us, that can give us true feedback. It doesn't feel good sometimes for someone to say, you know what? You really botched that meeting, or I expected more from you on that project. But that's important. While it hurts in the moment, it does set us up for those areas of growth. It always disappoints me when people say, you know what, I haven't had a performance evaluation in years. I never receive feedback at work, good or bad. Well, if no one ever tells you where your areas of growth are, you may make the assumption that you're perfect. And that's not the case, whether we are a frontline supervisor or a executive. There's always areas that we can get better at. And it's really important that we surround ourselves with people that can be honest and give us that true, honest feedback. And that we're open to hear it. That's an important key. We can't invite feedback, and then when people give it to us, we get our feelings hurt. Then they're not going to be honest with us in the future. This is really an important step. Make sure that you find people in your life, whether it is a mentor, an advisor, a coach, that can really have that conversation. It doesn't mean that people on your team can't give you honest and open feedback. That's important too. But when you're looking to really invest in your own personal and professional growth, this is an important step. I will tell you, I have a really close friend who has a really amazing job, and I'm one of her biggest cheerleaders. but it doesn't mean that I am her coach. She doesn't pay me for coaching services, and that's important because there's sometimes that we really want our friend to just be genuinely happy, and that can create a barrier to true, honest feedback. So make sure that when you're choosing those people to help you grow, that you're really building trust with those individuals and you're setting the relationship up for a situation that can be successful. The next step is, how willing are you to change? Are you fine with the way things are going? I've worked with people and coached them in the past, and after we do the initial assessments, I always love doing the Working Genius assessment. It's really a productivity tool so you can understand your working geniuses and your working frustrations. And I also love to do an emotional intelligence assessment. Where are those areas that we really can build, our self-awareness and our emotional intelligence. And I've coached people that we've gotten their emotional intelligence assessment back and they're like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. Well, while people around you might not be fine with it, you may not be willing to change right now. And so it might not be the time that you really want to invest. So you really got to look within yourself and decide, how open and willing are you to change? Because that's going to really set the stage to whether you're successful or not in your personal and professional development journey. So make sure that you're really, really willing and open to the growth. The other thing is, are you willing to dedicate enough time to it? We say this all the time to people of, just set aside 10 minutes a day to reflect and to journal or to do meditation or mindfulness. But are you really dedicated to do that? I will tell you something that works for me is I block off times on my calendar. If you look at my weekly calendar, you will see that I wake up every morning. Most mornings, not every morning. I wake up most mornings at 5:30. One, it gives me quiet time in the house to start my day. It gives me time to exercise. It gives me time to work through my to-do list, do my meditations, do my self-reflections. I always, that every morning, pull up my goals for the year. What am I working towards? What am I being intentional to get done? And that is my time to really set the stage for the day. So you have to decide what works for you. I also have blocks on my calendar that I block out for reading, writing. It's something, as I'm writing my book, I want to make sure that I'm really dedicating the time to reach that goal. And so blocking off that time that no one else can take. It's not one of those, hey, I'm blocking this out, but it's free. If you want to schedule a meeting during that time, commit to yourself. Your own personal and professional development supports everyone around you. And so while you wouldn't necessarily cancel a meeting with a team member or a peer because you value their time and what they will think of you if you cancel, you need to do the same thing for yourself. So make sure that you're really doing that for your own good. The other thing is, personal and professional development doesn't have to be expensive. You decide what works for you. You can, do a individual coach, like something that I do, where someone will help you through the process. You can join a group coaching experience, which is something that I enjoy doing. It's less expensive, but it also gives you that guide through your journey. Or you can just go out and, talk to people, engage on LinkedIn, get books, find ways that work for you. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. But what you need to do is you need to understand what personal and professional development means to you. So I will encourage you as you decide your journey, where you want to be when you grow up. And when I say that to people, it's, whether you're 21 and starting your career journey or whether you're 65 and at the end of your career journey, you're still giving back to those around you. And so you need to decide what is the best fit for you. I encourage everyone, be the catalyst, make the change. You decide today that is the day that you're going to be intentional about taking care of yourself. Do what makes you feel uncomfortable, even just something slightly uncomfortable. Do that. Dream big. What would you do if you weren't scared? What would you do if you knew that you would not fail and that money was no object? Do it. Follow your heart, follow your dream, invest in yourself. You will be better for it, your organization will be better for it, and those around you will be better for it because you've given enough to invest in your own growth. Thank you so much. I look forward to you engaging with my page. Please follow me on LinkedIn, and most importantly, be the catalyst in your life.